What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So, we are fresh off of Tsyzu's devastating knockout of Tony Harrison. Like, I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. That knockout was vicious. I didn't really get into the intricacies or I didn't get into it as much as I should have in the last video that I made. But the brother hit Tony Harrison with like a five-piece uppercut. I ain't never seen a four, five uppercuts in a row connecting like that. The brother looked like he was playing a game of Mortal Kombat. Y'all know in Mortal Kombat when they hit the uppercut, whoopsie, whoopsie, and then knock him to the next level, knock him up to the next level. He was trying to knock Tony Harrison up to heaven. I ain't gonna even front. And I'm a big Tony Harrison fan. Love the way the brother fights. I think he has great fight IQ, has great skill, but man, he was just like, Tsyzu was way too much for Tony. Tony was outmatched. The power was a key difference between these two individuals. Tony used that jab and utilized it very well, but again, he didn't follow up with the right hand over the top after putting that stick in Tsyzu's face. He couldn't follow it up with the right hand right by the ear region. It was open, because Tim wasn't holding the phone like that. So it was open for it to be hit, and Tony didn't capitalize off of that, right? And also, man, Tony just don't have the power to keep Tim honest. Tim is a big 154 pounder, can crack. Got better punching power than I expected. I'm not gonna even lie, y'all. Like when he fought Terrell Gausha, I wasn't really impressed or marveling over that because Terrell Gausha is a step below Tony Harrison. And let me just acknowledge this because because a lot of the Australians got mad, and you see them getting mad and how mad they were about the fight predictions based upon what they're saying after Tsyzu won the fight, right? So before the fight, a lot of Americans, we picked Tony Harrison, and not just simply because Tony Harrison was the American fighter. It's because that, let's be real, man. We don't really know a lot of the other dudes outside of Terrell Gausha that Tsyzu fought. He did a lot of his fighting over in Australia. We don't know a lot of the dudes. We don't know a lot of the competition. So we looking like, okay, you fought guys and you undefeated, but who did you really beat? And I'll say this as an American fighter. American fighter. I'm not a fighter. Let me stop. As an American fight watcher, right? As an American fight fan, I should say. A lot of times, we think we don't think you that good until you beat somebody that we know, or somebody from here that we've seen fight before, somebody that we've seen get down. Until we see you fight somebody that we know or somebody that's from here that we seen get down, a lot of times we don't give credence to your fight record. We don't really respect it in a certain way. I can admit that. Because again, outside of Terrell Gausha, I'm like, I don't know, man, who Tsyzu really fought? I really wasn't sold. But I have to admit, after this fight, man, he looked a lot better than I thought he would look. For real, man. Outboxing Tony Harrison. Just again, overwhelming Tony with his power and smothering him. Smothering Tony Harrison and sometimes he was even backing off. He wasn't just smothering him all the way like a Brian Castano can do. He wasn't doing it in that manner, but he did it at all the right times. And I'm like, damn, okay. Tim got some stuff on his hand. Tim, look, this fight with Jermell Charlo is a lot more interesting now after I saw him fight Tony Harrison. It's a lot more interesting, right? So now let's get back to the statements I said before. I said that a lot of Australians are pissed off at the fight predictions. They so mad that a lot of Americans was picking Tony Harrison. Now they jumping out the window. Now I'm talking about just going way, way too far. You got Australians talking about Jermell Charlo is now gonna be ducking Tsyzu now. They expecting Jermell Charlo to duck Tim now. Let's be for real. Congratulations to Tsyzu. Shouts out. The brother did a great job. He got the job done and being finished in fine fashion, dominating fashion. But let's be all the way for real. Who the hell have y'all seen Jermell Charlo duck? Who? Name them. The brother is undisputed at 154. And he didn't get all his belts fighting one guy. The brother lost his belt against Tony Harrison back in 2019. Came back around, beat Tony Harrison, and stopped him. Then came out and beat Jason Rosario, however you want to pronounce it. Beat Rosario after Rosario whooped on Julian J. Rock, what's my good J. Rock last name? Williams. Rosario whooped on J. Rock's ass and cracked his egg open all the way, bust his head to the white meat show. Jermell stepped up and fought Rosario and took his belts, right? Then after that, went to go get the last belt from Castaño. He lost, got the draw. Some feel he lost, right? Feel like the fight, if you would have gave him the loss, I really wouldn't have been pissed at the outcome. But I feel like Jermell hurt Castaño enough to, I guess, warrant a draw. But if you would have gave Castaño the victory, I wouldn't have been pissed about it or nothing, right? But even after that controversial draw, when people was looking like he should have got the L, we saw Jermell Charlo come out and beat Castaño after that, right? So ducking, I'm like, bro, Jermell ain't. Look, I've criticized Jermell for a lot of things he said and done, right? But I can never act like the brother's scared of nobody. Jermell Charlo ain't scared to fight no fucking body. He not. He was going to fight Tsyzu before, pulled out because of the hand injury. He's going to fight Tsyzu now, all right? So all this, he's scared. He going to be scared of Tim. He going to be scared of Tim. He going to be scared of Tim. Knock it off. Knock it the fuck off. Like, y'all can't believe that. There's nothing scary about Jermell Charlo. Now, you can say what you want to say. You can get him mixed up with his brother Jermell, but this ain't the 160-pound twin. It's Jermell. Jermell fighting any and everybody, John, and stopping them too. So what are we talking about? Like, come on, like, hold your horses. You can be a fan of Tsyzu and be happy that he won, and you can point at the critics and say, aha, I told you so. I told you so. That's cool. But to disregard Jermell like he just scary, a scaredy cat, he running from somebody, bro, he not going to run for no Tsyzu. And that ain't even to disrespect him. Now, let's get to the other stuff. You got people saying that, Tim going to wash Jermell. He going to whoop Jermell's ass. Jermell going to get handed to him. He going to be shown as a hype job. It's like, come on. Hype job, bro? Let me make this clear. Because I picked Tony Harrison to win the fight. I did. I am thoroughly impressed with Tsyzu's performance. I give him all credit. But y'all know with y'all own eyes, Tony Harrison is nowhere near what Jermell Charlo is. He don't fight like Jermell, and he not the same thing. Jermell hit way harder than Tony does. Way harder than Tony can imagine. Jermell got dog in him. Okay? So it's not going to just be I'm sitting back on the ropes, I'm pot-shotting you, hitting you with the jabs to keep you off. He going to bring the fight to you and tell you, come on with it. It's going to be blow for blow. Okay? It's going to be a barn burner. And one guy, Tim going to be swinging, and Jermell going to be swinging just as hard or even harder. He's not going to cower to Tim. He's not. So all of that, like, he ain't going to just lay back and all of that. And Jermell is tougher than Tony. He's way more doable than Tony. I said Tony would win the fight beforehand, and this is not an excuse why Tony lost. I'm just putting the whole totality of the fighter in perspective. Every time, most of all Tony's losses have come off knockouts. He's been knocked out several times before. We've all said his chin is weak. It's not the strongest chin. He doesn't have a good jaw. Glass chin. Excuse me, glass jaw. Tony also, again, he's not the same fighter he was when he fought Jermell Charlo in 2019. 2019 was a minute ago. I know it don't seem that long ago. COVID got us feeling like 2019 was just last year, 2 years ago. 2019 was a minute ago. He's not that same fighter at all that he was when he fought Jermell. Right? And I can see that in last night, and not last night's fight, in the previous fight that just happened. And honestly, a fight ago. He looked good against, was it Martinez? What's his name? Sergio what? Was it Martinez? What's Sergio's last name? I don't know, but Sergio is not a pressure fighter. So Tony looked good against him, but he wasn't a pressure fighter. Tim is a pressure fighter. Jermell is not going to cower to a pressure fighter. He's going to bring pressure as well. All right? Again, Jermell is durable, man. He can get hit, he can take a punch and give a punch right back. And Tsyzu was walking through Tony Harrison's punches. Walking through him, saying, what's up, what's happening with it? And kept cracking Tony with shot after shot. Listen, as much as Tsyzu impressed me, Tim ain't walking through no Jermell Charlo punches. He's not. Like, he not walking through them punches like that. Jermell probably is the hardest hitting dude at 154. Until Tsyzu showed me otherwise. Tim is a very worthy opponent. He's a hard hitting dude. He is. But Jermell, to me, got the best knockout power. Jermell can hit you with one shot and make you buckle and fold to your knees. Hit you with the right shot at the right placement. It ain't the same power as Deontay Wilder. It's not that. But Jermell can hit you with the right punch placement. He can hit you with some shit that'll have you on your knees. Okay? He hit Castaño in a last fight. He hit Castaño with a shot that had Castaño basically, I don't know, felt like the game was loading. Like the controller glitched. Like the controller lost signal or something. Y'all know on PlayStation when they do. Like he was like the controller was lagging. The man got hit with a punch and then felt the aftershock of it a little bit after, a few seconds after that, and fell and buckled to his knees. Right? You seen when he hit Jason Rosario to the stomach. Rosario was on the ground writhing in pain. People talking about, oh, he threw the fight, it was fixed. Nah, Rosario felt that shit on him, right? Okay? Jermell had Tony Harrison's eyes looking groggy when he was sitting there with uppercut after uppercut after uppercut in their second fight. So, come on, fam. Like, just not, like, nah, bro. Tony and Jermell Charlo are two different dudes. Just because he beat Tony Harrison does not mean he's going to beat Jermell Charlo. Now, again, I know Tony got a victory. He was awarded a unanimous, not a unanimous, it was a split decision. He was awarded a decision against Jermell in their first fight. I know that. But, like, Tony ain't been that same fighter in a minute, and they just not the same fighter. Him, Tony, and Jermell are two different type of dudes. Even in the mentality. Jermell trying to get your ass up out of there. He got a mean streak in him. He is trying to hurt you with every punch. Not keep you honest. Not, like, score points. Not to keep you at bay. It's to hurt you. He trying to hit you with some shit that'll make your whole soul shift. And that'll be an interesting matchup to see him and Tsyzu go head to head like this, right? I was gonna say something else too. I was trying to say something else in regards to the fight. It was about Tony and Jermell. Damn, I forgot. Oh, no, because my point in saying that Jermell is not the same fighter as Tony, as time went on, he started to diminish. He's diminishing, right? Because Tony was able to cut the ring off a lot better than that before, than what he did last night. Footwork was better, lateral movement was better in previous fights. He didn't have that same type of movement in this fight he just had with Tsyzu. Now, Jermell's best performance was his latest performance. So he's improving. Jermell is a better fighter than he was when he first fought Tony Harrison, and then when he fought Tony Harrison the second time. He's improved. The last fight was the most complete I've ever seen Jermell Charlo look. I mean, from outboxing him, throwing different shots, mixing it up, great punch placement, also great power shots, sitting down on the punches properly, listening to the game plan, using the jab effectively, listening to the game plan of Derek James and carrying it out, executing that game plan. That's the best I ever seen Jermell Charlo look in his second fight against Brian Castaño. I'm like, shit, man. Jermell looked like he's ascended and reached another level. So with that being said, with me seeing Jermell Charlo in his last fight, with me seeing Tsyzu, and understanding the differences of those two individuals and how they fight, I'm still going to have to go with Jermell Charlo in this upcoming matchup. Can Tsyzu beat Jermell? Yes, he can. But I see Jermell beating Tim and stopping Tim, in my humble opinion. But the point of this video is to say, man, all the Australians, I love y'all, but Jermell Charlo is not afraid of Tsyzu. He's not. And quiet as kept, man, I want to tell y'all something. Y'all might not like this. Y'all, I think Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford would beat Tsyzu. Because I think they're that more skilled than Tim. Now, Tim is skilled for sure, but I think those guys, because people was like, oh, Errol Spence is scared and scared. I think Errol is more skilled than Tim, without question. Errol not gonna sit back and just let Tim get off on him the same way Tony Harrison was. He's gonna fight back. Although he hasn't fought at 154 before, it be looking different. He got dog in him. Real live dog. The same way Terrence Crawford does. So I think they would beat Tsyzu as well. Now, again, it's not fair to say because, no, it's not fair. It's not easy to say, I should say, because we haven't saw Terrence or Errol fight at 154. But with my own two eyes, I see that happening, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace.